Hey, 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 happy Monday, happy Monday. And welcome to Healthy Eats with Hillary. Welcome to my kitchen. Happy Monday. We're going to get started by getting those hands scrubbed up. But before we get those hands washed, I want to let you know what we're going to be preparing on today. On today, we are going to be preparing shrimp. We're not doing salmon today. We're going to be preparing shrimp on today. And we got the sounds of Chicago Mass Choir in the background. I do not own the rights to the music or the lyrics. That's what we're going to be listening to on today as our music for inspiration with this delectable meal on today. And we're going to be preparing shrimp, but the type of shrimp that we're going to be preparing is a sweet potato shrimp. That's what we're going to be preparing. And it's going to be basted in flaxseed meal along with pear butter. Got some red onions, and our vegetable is going to be our broccoli crown. We're going to utilize a broccoli crown with this meal on today. So let's get these hands washed up and let's get started with our meal on today. Once again, welcome to my kitchen. I'm your host, Hillary, with Healthy Eats with Hillary, and happy Monday to you. All right, let's get these hands washed. How was everybody's weekend? Everybody have a good weekend? Good. Glad you had a weekend that was rested and relaxed. And we're going to move some stuff around here. I already have my shrimp in the sink. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to move my shrimp out of my sink and get my hands washed. And God is my everything. He is. He is my everything. How many decree and declare and have made that profession of faith that God is your everything? And He is my hope for tomorrow. He is my rock in a weary land. He is my shelter in the time of storm. God is what? My everything. All right. Let me get my camera position here so you can see what I'm going to be doing. And we have our shrimps. We have our seasonings already measured out here. Have our flaxseed meal that we're going to be using. We have our pear butter already measured out for us. So we have those things already accomplished. And then we'd have to get our sweet potato cut up after we wash it. Have our broccoli crown here. We have our cup of onions already chopped up and ready to go. We have to get our bell pepper chopped up. And we also have here our shrimp. They have been soaking since this morning. All right. And let's get our heat going on this stove. Now, I'm going to show y'all what I did last night. I didn't do a video for it, but I made chocolate covered strawberry cupcakes. And when I say they're really, really good, they are really, 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 really good. Very, very good. So I have those there. And I did that last night. That was something I did off the top of my head. Because I'm very, very open to being creative when I cook different meals. And I don't like cooking the same thing over and over again. Now, my go-to dish, just to let you know up front, is the cranberry paired salmon. Because I love salmon. I'm a pescatarian. I love eating the tuna and the tuna steaks and the salmon and shrimp. Those are like my go-to meats. Now, I do on an occasion do the chicken cutlet or the chicken tender from time to time. But my go-tos are always going to be the fish and the seafood. Because I am a pescatarian and I love eating those healthy pescatarian meals for the most part. So we got our hands washed. Let's get some heat going here and get our shrimp washed. We're going to turn our oven on. And we're going to move this pan here. And we're going to also turn our stove on for our broccoli. The broccoli crown. We're going to bring that down to the heat. We're going to set that up there. We'll put a little water in here. All right, that was our opening music. We have the Chicago Mass Choir. Well, God is my everything. All right, so we have our water going here for our broccoli crown. I'm going to put that there. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to wash our shrimp. So as you know here, you're going to need to use your colander. You want to dump this in here because what you're looking to do what? Wash that sud off of the shrimp. So when you're washing shrimp, you make sure when you buy shrimp straight from the seafood county, you do need to bring it home and wash it. You do. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. So as I'm washing this, it suds that's coming from the shrimp. Now suds, now normally shrimp would taste like soap because of the vein that is inside of the shrimp. So when you're washing your shrimp, make sure that you wash it to where there are no more suds forming from the washing of the shrimp, and then you can devein it, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you that. But I wanted to make sure I'm washing it really, really good. And I'm going to dump this back into my colander here. And I always like to shake it around, seeing if I'm going to get any more suds. So I have like two pans. So I have this one that goes up underneath the colander, where it can collect the water, as well as like the tail might come off or any of the shells might come off. And I'm not getting suds. So that's a good thing. I'm not getting any more suds, so I'm happy about that. Do it one more time just to be on the safe side. Can't be too sorry when you're washing seafood. I do the same thing with salmon as well. I like to make sure that I'm washing it really good because I mean that stuff gets shipped in here, and even though they pack it on ice and do all of that stuff at the seafood counters or what have you, I still like to bring my stuff home and wash it really, really good. I do. Love to still bring it home and wash it really good. Now, I did have some green beans that I was going to prepare, but I'm not going to do my green beans. I'm going to set my green beans up here. I'm going to do my green beans with chicken. I'm going to cook chicken on tomorrow. I'm going to do a chicken wing tomorrow. The pomegranate chicken on tomorrow. All right, I'm going to wash that. All right, so we no longer have the shrimp being suds. I know you can't see me. I don't want you to actually see me. I want you to actually see what I'm fixing to do with the shrimp. I'm going to pull the camera down so you can see that I'm about to take take the shell off of the shrimp. So in case you've never done this before. So what you do, you just take your hand and what you do, you actually can peel this off. And as you see, all of its little legs are still on here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to peel this off so that I do not have this going into my skillet. So I'm peeling this. I'm about to peel the shrimp and I'm about to devein this shrimp as I am peeling this off because I don't want to cook this in here. I'm going to use a paring knife to devein it, and I'll show you what it looks like deveined. So I'm going to just turn my stove off for a minute while I get this done. Let me grab my paring knife. All right, so when you actually get ready to take the vein out of this, what you're going to do, you're going to make an incision in here and dig inward into the shrimp in order to devein it. And you cut that out and it brings the vein out. And this is the vein of the shrimp. When you're deveining shrimp, you just cut that vein out. That's what you do. And then you can even do it from the bottom part here, where you go in and you just take your paring knife and you just grab that vein and you just pull that vein out of that shrimp. So while I'm doing that, getting these done, I don't have a whole lot of these to do for the most part, but just wanted to demonstrate to you that when you do buy shrimp from the seafood counter and you don't get the deveined kind, which I don't prefer to always get them deveined for the most part, I like doing it myself. That way I know that they were deveined because I do it myself. And see, there you go. That's that vein. That's that vein. So when you see that there, you know you are pulling the vein out of the shrimp. So I'm going to devein these and then get these babies seasoned up so that we can have some shrimp on today. And I love shrimp. These are the colossal shrimps from the fresh market. I love going to their seafood counter and getting fresh shrimp from them. I don't buy the farm raised shrimp, so reason being is because of how they're actually handled, how they're actually housed. I don't care for the farm raised shrimp or the farm raised salmon. So I always make sure that it says it's wild caught or it's Atlantic caught shrimp or Atlantic caught salmon, because at least you know it came from like Alaska, or it came from one of those seas is where it came from. It wasn't raised on the farm. So as you see here, I'm taking out the vein of the shrimp, cutting that out, deveining that shrimp. Now you can go ahead and buy your shrimp where it's already deveined. For the most part, you can do that where it's already deveined. But let me just peel this down here. Wee. All right, let me get this going. And we're going in here, cutting this out, cutting these veins out of these shrimp. Getting that cut out and putting that to the side. So I got a pound of shrimp. So I know you guys are like, I don't want to sit there and watch her peel shrimp and devein shrimp. Well, you know what? I get it. I get it. It's very tasking for the most part. But if you've never done it before and you just bought shrimp from the seafood counter and had no idea on how to get that out, that is how to get that out. So I'm going to raise this up for you so now that you can look at me. I need to send the live back out because I ended up hitting the wrong button is what happened. And when I hit the wrong button, today's live, I had to go and delete it is what I did. And I had to start over. So I'm having to resend this back out because I did this wrong. I did this wrong. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. So I'm having to redo this. Give me just a minute so that I can send this back out. That's what I'm doing. All right, perfect. So I got that done. I got that sent back out. So I'm going to it's going to be kind of um, a lengthy episode today because I am doing shrimp on today, and it is going to take me a little minute. Hey, sis, getting shrimp done. So I just showed how you actually peel the shrimp and how you actually devein it for the most part. So I'm peeling this, and as I'm peeling it down, taking the little tail off, peeling the little tail off of this shrimp here, and getting that pulled off. And then taking my paring knife and deveining it. So to devein it, what you do, you take your paring knife, you go in here to the center of it, and you cut where the vein is at on the inside. And when you're cutting where the vein is at, that there is the vein of the shrimp. And you make sure you get all of it out. So that is what I'm doing right now. Is just showing people how to actually take like how to peel the shrimp. And then when peeling the shrimp, how you actually go in here and you take your paring knife and you just go down into the center of the shrimp and you just peel that vein out. Is what you do. Hey, Meg, showing how to devein shrimp before you cook it. And so I'm using my paring knife and we're peeling out that vein, getting that vein at the shrimp. And sometimes you can just take your knife and just actually just lift it up very, very easily for the most part. But the most important part is making sure you have that vein out of that shrimp. That's what you want to do. So I'm doing on today a sweet potato shrimp is what I'm doing. But the shrimp is going to be basted. Check this out. In pear butter. Is what it's going to be basted in. So it's going to have like a savory, sweet taste to it. And that savory, sweet taste is going to complement the kale that I'm going to lay the shrimp on and the broccoli. So we're going to have just a little bit of kale mix with our shrimp to place that shrimp on when we plate it. And that's just for decoration for the most part. And then once we plate it, we're going to have our broccoli crown. We're not doing broccolini. We're having a broccoli crown on today. And going to cook the broccoli crown and have the broccoli served with our sweet potato shrimp, basted in our pear butter. That's what we're going to have. So just getting a couple of these shrimps cooked here. And then I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to do a few of them because we're doing a low carb meal. So I have approximately 2, 4, 6, 7. I have a total of 10 shrimp. So we're going to utilize these 10 shrimp. I'm going to wash these. Get these washed up really, really good. And I'm going to show you how to baste your shrimp. All right, here. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We got 10 shrimp here. Got those babies washed really good. All right. Get the other shrimp pushed to the side. Rinse them off really good. All right, perfect. So now that we have our shrimp washed, I'm going to wash my hands again. Go ahead and get my paper towels together. I'm going to wash my hands again. And I'm going to show you the ingredients one more time that I'm going to be using to baste the shrimp. And so we can go ahead and turn our skillet heat on. Go ahead and turn our heat on. And let's get those hands washed. One more time. Been dealing with shrimp. So I'm not going to be touching the shrimp again after I put the seasoning on it. I'm going to be using a spoon. So that's why I'm going ahead and I'm washing my hands now. And when I handle the broccoli, I do not want to have to wash my hands again to handle the broccoli. So I'm washing my hands now, freeing my hands of the seafood that I've been handling. I'm washing those hands really, really good. Getting down off in there, cleaning those nails. All right, so got that turned off. All right, so let's get my hands cleaned here. All right, got those hands washed really good. All right, so let's get our let's get going here. All right, perfect. All right, so here we go. So we have our shrimp. We have 10 shrimp here. We have our seasoning. So the seasoning that I'm utilizing is actually Mrs. Dash Table Blend. And excuse me, that's kind of strong. And I have a lemon blend in here. And I also have included some Creole seasoning. So I'm going to sprinkle that onto my shrimp. And I'm going to use here as a binder the flaxseed meal. So I have 1/3 cup of flaxseed meal as my binder. I'm just going to sprinkle that on there. And then as another substance, this here is the homemade pear butter. And this was a blessing to me from Archbishop and First Lady. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to scoop that out with my spatula. And these are going to serve as binders for our shrimp. So you're going to take your spatula and you're going to blend those together. You're going to blend that pear butter, that flaxseed meal, and them seasonings onto that shrimp. All right, so we got that mixed up. We're going to go ahead and take our ice cream scoop here, and we're going to go ahead and scoop out our butter. We're going to do 2 of these. We can go ahead and put our shrimp into the skillet. Put that in there. All right, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to add to that our onion. So we have some onions here. Going to add just a little bit of the onions into this. All right, so we have our red onion that has been incorporated into that. And we're going to take a bell pepper as well. We're going to add a bell pepper into that. So we're going to have a very nice, sweet, salty shrimp here. And we're going to incorporate that sweet potato. So as our butter is melting here, you see our butter coming to a melt. And we're going to incorporate next, adding the shrimp to the skillet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dump that in there. And listen, that start the sizzle. Starting to sizzle. So we're going to put this over here in our sink. We're going to set what we have remaining to the side. And we're going to wash our sweet potato and get our sweet potato washed and get our sweet potato cut up and put into our skillet. And we're going to get that broccoli crown washed and cut up. But first, we're going to go ahead and get the sweet potato done. And we're not going to actually peel the hulls off the sweet potato. We're going to leave the hulls on the sweet potato because that's where our nutrients are at. We're going to place this on our cutting board. And we're going to cut that just as thin as possible. You don't want to cut your sweet potato thick. You want to cut your sweet potato thin. Like a potato chip, see how thin that is? You want to cut that sweet potato thin, and you want to drape that sweet potato around that shrimp is what you want to do. So we're going to cut this thin like paper. And it takes a skill to cut a sweet potato thin like paper. See how thin that is? That is like super thin. And we're going to drape that sweet potato around that shrimp and let that cook like so. I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. All right, so we have some more thin layers of sweet potato with that shrimp. All right, and we're going to put our lid on it, and we're going to let that cook. All right, so I'm going to set our sweet potato to the side. Put this in the garbage can here. All right, perfect. All right, next thing we're going to wash this off, and then we're going to put our bell pepper in with the shrimp, and we're going to get that broccoli crown washed. It doesn't take broccoli long to cook, but we do want to make sure that we're bringing it off the heat at the exact same time so that it's evenly cooked, so that way when we plate it, we don't just have one thing done, but that we have everything evenly cooked and everything evenly done. Okay. All right, perfect. Let's get our broccoli washed here. Let the water for the broccoli is coming to a boil. All right. Now this is already washed. I'm just washing again for you. And I'm going to take my broccoli. I'm going to cut that off so that way the crowns are just pulled apart. I can just take this and stick this in the water. Go in here. Cut that out. So as I'm cutting the crown part out, just take these pieces, stick these pieces in water. That's what I can do. Just place that in there. All right. All right. All right, so we got that part done. Put it in my garbage disposal. Let that be sucked all up in there. All right. Put it in the garbage disposal. All right, so if I put my dishes in the dishwasher so that I don't have a lot of dishes in my sink. I'm doing this. So the last thing I'm going to do is going to be the bell pepper. I got everything going here. Give me just a second here. We're doing what? We cook clean so we can but eat clean. And we eat clean because what we cook clean. All right, got our cutting board here. Got the broccoli pieces roll down off into the garbage disposal. All right, perfect. All right, put the spatula in here. And I'm going to show you when I get the bell pepper added in what this is starting to look like. This is coming together really, really good. All right, perfect. Wipe this down real good. Let's get our bell pepper cut up. Then we're going to go over and we're going to look and see at what we're looking at. So I'm going to get the bell pepper cut up. I'm not going to use a lot of it. We're going to use just a little bit of the bell pepper. And as you know, that goes where? In the garbage disposal. All right, so I'm going to dump that in there. Going to do this here. Get this chopped up. Get these little pieces sliced out of the bell pepper. All right. For me to have grown up in the South, I do not cook a lot of Southern stuff. I bet you I may cook 1% of Southern dishes, which is jambalaya. I'll cook that. Cakes and pies, of course, for the most part. But everything else is not a Southern. Everything I cook is not a Southern dish. So I would rarely cook things like fried chicken, one, health reasons, and then two, because I don't like fried stuff in the house. I don't like the smell of something frying. I don't like the smell of it. So fried chicken is not something that you will ever in this life see me cook. You will not. Frying fish, you will not see me fry fish. Somebody else cook it, of course, absolutely, I'll eat it. But me, myself, no. I won't be doing any fried chicken or what they call ham hocks, hog jolls. But I'll do the veggies. I'll do the black eyed peas, and I'll do the collard greens and the green beans because of the health benefits for it. So we're going to get this bell pepper cut up here. Like I said, if somebody else cooks it, by all means, I'll be more than happy to eat it. Somebody else cooks it. I just don't cook it. And it's not that I can't, it's just the health benefits. I'm probably dealing with my health right now. I'm not able to eat that or partake in that, but like I never ate it before. I've eaten fried chicken, love fried chicken for the most part. I love fried fish, the whitings, I love it. I just don't cook it for health benefits. All right, so got the bell pepper cut up here. We're gonna stick this thing, wash this down. All right, so let's add our bell pepper. Take my little spoon here. I'm gonna add some bell pepper to it. We're gonna add some bell pepper to it. And that is coming together really, really good. We're gonna get those shrimps cooked. We'll get those shrimps turned over. And that is coming together beautifully. All right, so let me bring you over to this. You can see how this is looking. Look at that. Sweet potato shrimp. Because one thing I don't want the sweet potatoes broken up. So when cooking the sweet potatoes, the reason why they're layered like that is because I want them to stay together like that. So the way when I plate it, the sweet potatoes are still whole when I plate them. I don't want to break the sweet potatoes up because of how they're cooking. So that's why I layered them like that. So that way as they're cooking layered like that. I love my sweet potatoes looking like that. I do. And so you see the shrimp here is cooking. All right, perfect. So while that is cooking, let's get our kitchen cleaned up. Let's get ready to start plating our meal. I'm gonna add just a little bit more butter to that so that way it's even. Look at this, it's not evening out. Like it's on one side, it's a little bit more butter on the one side than it is on the other side. I want to make sure I have an even flow here with how this is cooking. I want it to be even. I don't want to be cheating. I don't want to cheat the shrimp and potatoes out of their fair share of butter. So when cooking with butter, you have to watch your trans fat. And so this doesn't have, let me put the lid back on this. Okay, let's turn some heat up on this broccoli. So like I said, it's coming together even. Let's turn the heat down on that. All right, so this has 80 calories for 1 tablespoon. All right, so 1 tablespoon is this. This is 1 tablespoon. Is what this is. So as you see, I've used approximately about 8 tablespoons. So you would say 8 times 80. 8 times 80. 8 times 80. 8 times 80. I've used 8 tablespoons of butter because when I use the ice cream scoop, that is 2 tablespoons of butter. And I used 2 ice cream scoops of butter. So that's 4 tablespoons of butter. Then I just took out 2 scoops of the butter using a wooden spoon. And the wooden spoon is a lot bigger than the tablespoon if you had to do an estimate. So that's why I said 8, because to be on the safe side, I'd rather be honest versus, dishonest about my usage. But some people have an eye for measurement. Some people don't have an eye for measurement. And so 8 times 80 is what will be the math on that. So the trans fat doesn't have any trans fat. Total fat, 9 grams. Saturated fat is 2.5. So watching the saturated fat that you take into your body. This right here is a smart balance. It's 60% less saturated fat than butter. Supports healthy cholesterol levels. It has 400 milligrams of the omega-3 in it. And already within the normal range when used instead of butter. This is more like a spread. Smart balance. And here is the caloric index on the back of it. So I will also post this in the video as well when I close this out. All right, so the broccoli started to cook. I'm going to put my lid on my broccoli so the broccoli cooks even, and then I'm going to clean this up. So this is the homemade pear butter. And this is the flaxseed meal that I actually basted the shrimp in. And as you can see here, it's 60 calories. And this is like an egg. You can use this for an egg. So like if you put, you can actually 1 tablespoon of the flaxseed meal and 3 tablespoons of water for each egg needed. So instead of using an egg, I actually use the flaxseed meal as my binder on the shrimp. And so this doesn't have any saturated fat or trans fat, and has 3.5 grams of fat, has no sodium, 1 milligram of iron, 89 milligrams of potassium, 3 grams of protein. So that's why I use the flaxseed meal. And my seasonings, of course, are the Creole Seasoning, the Mrs. Dash table blend, and we have here the lemon pepper blend is what I had already put together. And I put the measurements into the description for today's meal. And as you see here, I do have some flaxseed meal. If I did measure this out, if I had prepared all the shrimp, I would have been using the rest of this. So this is like a 1/3 cup, but I didn't use 1/3 cup. I actually ended up using approximately about 3 tablespoons of the flaxseed meal to actually base the shrimp in. And then I had like a cup of onions that I had chopped up. I didn't use the whole cup. I used roughly almost about maybe a half a cup of the onions that I had chopped up, so I can use that for something else. And then instead of using a whole potato, I used like maybe half of a sweet potato for this meal here. I'm going to get this cleaned up. We're going to go back over to look at what our shrimp and broccoli is looking at. And after cleaning this up, we're going to get ready to start to plate this onto some kale. All right, guys. So what do you guys think about the meal so far? What are your thoughts? Share with me your thoughts in regards to this meal. Do you think you would like it if you had to cook it for yourself or a loved one? Because as you know, these are low carb, low cal meals. Is what these are. So give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts. Do you think you would like it? You wouldn't like it? That you would enjoy it, not enjoy it, maybe enjoy it, probably enjoy it. Or is it something that you would pretty much say like, oh, I learned this in trial and error? Just joking, guys. But these are really great meals. I enjoy them. I've been doing really well thus far in regards to weight is concerned, getting weight off, getting healthier, eating healthier. I already ate healthier. I just had stress added to my life with some things that were I'm not gonna say it wasn't in my control, but just added pressure to everyday life for the most part. All right, we got our sink cleaned up here. We're gonna spray everything in. All right, perfect. And that is smelling yummy, yummy, yummy. That is smelling yum, 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 yum. It is smelling yum-alicious. Yum-alicious. It's not a word. It's not a real word. All right. We cook clean because we eat clean, and we eat clean because we cook clean. All right. So we got that cleaned up. Let's go and look at how our meal is coming. And let's grab our plate so we can start to plate this. And we are going to have us some water. We're still doing this detox water. Guys, we're still enjoying this water. Got some fresh batch here of this lemon cucumber. And I got some blueberries added into this. So that's a very refreshing drink. We got that. For our water, on today. I'm going to take out some cheese. I'm going to add just a little bit of cheese. I'm going to take the butter back. I'm going to add just a little bit of butter to the broccoli. And I'm going to grab my little kale mix here. And I'm going to put some of this little kale onto our plate for this shrimp. Got all these green veggies here. All right. I'm not going to use a whole lot. I'm going to use just a little bit. Just kind of coat the plate. So this isn't like a full cup. This may be like a fourth cup. And about half a cup. So I use about half a cup of the kale mix is what I use. I'm going to grab a spatula here. Spatula. And we're going to walk over here and we're going to look at this. Look at how this looks. That looks simply heavenly. Remember, don't tear your sweet potatoes up because you want it to look pretty when you plate it. So you're just going to lift those sweet potatoes up and just move them around because I don't want to tear the sweet potatoes up at all. I want to keep them as whole as possible. All right, I'm going to flip that here. I'm going to flip that one. And then flip it so it cooks in there. As you can see, they're good and tender. They're not hard. We got a sweet potato stuck over here in the shrimps. All right. So this is ready. That looks good. Oh my goodness, and it smells heavenly. We're going to get ready to turn the heat down off of that, and we're going to get ready to plate it, guys. All right, so that is ready. Got our broccoli cooking. Going to grab our little container for our broccoli, and I'm going to get my scoop here so that I can begin to plate this shrimp onto this kale. That's what I'm fixing to do. All right, so here we go. We're going to take us one nice big scoop, and we're going to just lay that, oh, that looks so good, on top of that kale. Oh, that looks good. And we're going to take us a nice scoop of these sweet potatoes, and we're going to just garnish the sweet potatoes around the plate is what we're going to do. I'm just going to garnish it around the plate. Because we're going to do these sweet potatoes. Man, it smells good. Got two more here. Garnish that right there. And we're going to just garnish this plate with these sweet potatoes. So we're going to do that. Looks really good. That looks good, guys. It does. All right. I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. Got that together. All right. So we have that together. We'll just give a little clean wipe. Because I had put some sweet potatoes in the section. And I ain't liking how I laid it on there. So I'm going to wipe that little spot off so that it comes together perfectly. All right, here we go. All right, so we got our sweet potatoes on here. We're going to get our broccoli scooped out. We're going to get our broccoli plated as well. So the broccoli has come to a nice boil. I don't want it mushy and soft. I still want some firmness with the broccoli, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it from the heat. I'm going to drain it off. You see that steam coming off of that? That's how I love for my broccoli. And then voila, we have it. I have my broccoli here. I'm going to take just a little bit of butter. Just a little bit, not much. Got that. I'm going to put that in there. Put this to the side. And I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of cheese. Not a lot. Don't want it covered in cheese. I got to push that out there. All right. stoves off. All right, so we're going to get our broccoli covered and coated with the butter and cheese. We're going to get that stirred up in here. Then we're going to put this on our plate, and we're going to get ready to see exactly how our meal for today is. And we have a wonderful shrimp meal here, and I'm just anxious to see how it turns out. Just really excited about how it turns out. I'm getting this cheese and broccoli evenly coated here so I can put this in the bowl. Just place them little bites in here. Oh, that looks so good. All right. I bet y'all like she made sure she got the part with the cheese. All right. This is wonderful, guys. Let me get my picture. Always got to get a picture of the meal before I eat it. Let me get my stuff moved here. Put my flowers down here. Get my flowers going. That is a meal for champions, if I can say so myself. That is a meal for champions. And we're getting ready to wrap this up. Let me grab my picture, and then we're going to get us a closing song for today. Grab my fork. Grab my fork, and let me push my little sweet potato back in there. All right. So let's get the picture taken. All right, let me get one more. Make sure I got my glass in there. All right, perfect. All right, so let's get out our closing music. And let's see. What are we going to do? We're going to do something. Let's find a nice upbeat song. And whew, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. All right, so let me go here. Let me try to find something. I can't find nothing. What are we going to close out to? Holy One is what we're going to close out to. We're going to close out with Bishop Andrew Merritt, and the song is called Holy One. That's our closing song for today. Let's try our dish. Let me show you what we got here. There we go. That is our meal for today. All right, we got our sweet potato shrimp. All right, Jesus wept. That is so good. Oh my goodness. That is really good. I like that. I love how it comes together. The flavors in it. It's really good. Got some sweet potato on it. I like that. I like that. Put some broccoli in. That is so good. That is so good. This is really good. Really good. So tomorrow we're going to do chicken wings with green beans and roasted potatoes. Mm. The shrimp and potato go very, very well together. That pear butter that the shrimp was actually cooked, like rolled in and cooked in, worked out really good. Something new, and I loved it. Mm, I love that. It's really good. I've been your host for today on Monday, March 17th, 2025. Thanks for watching on today. Thank you for tuning in to Healthy Eats with Hillary. I've been your host. Thank you for being invited into my kitchen. You're always welcome into my kitchen. If you have any recipes that you would to try and you want me to send them to you, email me at healthyeatswithhillary@gmail.com. And then on top of that, post in the chat what your favorite recipe is, and I'll be more than happy to prepare it and cook it right here on Healthy Eats with Hillary. Once again, happy Monday. Thank you for joining me on today. Try this. Sweet potato shrimp is good. You may not like pear butter, so you don't have to cook it in pear butter. That was just something I wanted to try today. And I actually really like how the flavors came together. You don't have to use the kale like I did. So I want to try for myself to utilize eating a lot of the green vegetables. When you're doing a plant-based diet, you want to eat as much greenery as possible. So, just letting you know that. I'm your host, Hillary. We're Healthy Eats with Hillary. And tomorrow we're doing chicken wings. Not fried, baked chicken wings. Okay? Baked chicken wings. Lemon pepper chicken wings. Baked, not fried. Okay? We're doing green beans, and we're also going to do I gotta think of my other vegetables. I can't. Well, God bless you. Happy Monday, and enjoy this meal. Cook it, prep it, enjoy it, savor it, savor it, savor it. Happy Monday, and God bless you.